Well, hello, hello, hello. This is Wait With Me. Jill will be with us very soon, but also we started a little earlier. So if you're listening to this in replay, you can fast forward past this spot. We've got about another 4 to 5 minutes before we start, so you can fast forward 4 to 5 minutes and get into the show. But also, Fireside has updated their app. It's amazing. All of us creators are really excited because this means Fireside is getting closer to stream the content on smart TVs. So then you will be able to go right to your television, click on the and watch Jill's show. Oh gosh, that is so exciting. Again, thanks for coming. The show will start in just a few, and we will be with you. Now, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. The show Wait With Me with Jill Cox Cordova will be starting in approximately 4 minutes. Again, if you're watching this in replay, you can fast forward past this spot and go right ahead. But if you're listening to this in replay and you are new to Fireside, when you're in a show live, there's a couple of things you can do. You can react, so you can hit the clap emoji, the laugh emoji, or the party emoji, and it'll come right through. You can also hit the react button and you'll see a whole bunch of emojis come up, and you can choose the emoji you wish and press send. If you want to send a comment or a question to Jill, you hit that react button again, choose an emoji, and type in your text, so your question or comment. Also, if you would like to come to stage and speak during Jill's show, there's a few ways you can do that. The easiest way is there's a plus sign that says speakers. You can just hit that and press send, and Jill will receive the information that you would like to come to the stage. Then also you can hit the plus sign that's in the lower left-hand corner, and you'll see a spot where you can click on where you request to speak. You can hit that also, and Jill will receive that message. And also, please remember to share this with your friends and families and with the people that don't like you. We want them to. Again, we will be starting in approximately 2 minutes. So again, if you're listening to this in replay, you can fast forward past this and get right into the show. We'll be with you soon. We are getting really, really close. If you decided to listen to all of this part in the replay, it'll be approximately 1 minute, and Jill will be here on video. Again, we look forward to seeing you all, and if you're listening to this in replay, enjoy the show.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. This is Wait With Me, and I'm your host, Jill Cox Cordova. It's another Wednesday, and boy, have I had a week since I was last here last Wednesday. Let's see, I feel like I've done all sorts of things, none of which are coming to mind right now. So that tells you how hectic it's been. I can't remember any of it. But I'll just carry on, just carry on. I'm alive. I got up today. I'm breathing. And so, there's always that. And I see Nicole is in the audience. Hey, hey, thank you for coming. I'll get right to segment one, which is what I call This is the Deal.
This is the deal. This is the deal.
All right. This is the deal. This week I wanted to talk about something, normally my first segments are rather light. But this week I want to talk about something more serious, and that's body image and our perception of our own bodies as well as the perceptions of others of our bodies. Body image, according to BingeEating.com, is when we think about, feel, and act towards our body. And that can cause many different things, especially if you view yourself in a negative way, view your body in a negative way. It can cause depression, anxiety, low self esteem, substance abuse, uh, and you might even isolate yourself because you're feeling embarrassed or ashamed of your body. So I want to talk about different types of body image issues. One is called body dissatisfaction, which is a general unhappiness with your body or its parts. And I must admit that for the last 2 or 3 years, certainly pre-COVID, but especially during when the pandemic started, I was very dissatisfied with my body. There's overevaluation of your weight or shape, and some people base it on who they are. So they base it on their looks of who they are, um, instead of being who they are, regardless of how they look. There's also body preoccupation. That's when people obsessively think about what their body weighs and what it looks like. There's also body checking. I'm sure we've all seen people who check their weight and shape constantly. They're always looking at themselves in the mirror. And worse, they compare themselves to others. We all know that we all have different body shapes, and sometimes it's a cultural thing too. Um, it's some people compare themselves to others, especially if they monitor social media a lot, which I'll talk about in a moment. There's body image avoidance. Some people do the exact opposite. They don't look at themselves at all, and they disguise what their body looks like. I'm guilty of that. Uh, when we turned our podcast into a vodcast, I would insist that my husband shoot me at a certain angle so you couldn't see my whole body. And I would insist, like even at work, I would wear baggy clothes so that you really couldn't tell things. But, baggy clothes sometimes just make you look bigger. So I soon stopped doing that. Um, there's always the feeling of being fat, that you're some people think they're carrying more weight than they actually are. I know several people who will often say, "Oh, I need to lose like 10 or 15 pounds," and they're really actually thin. And so it makes you, wonder why they perceive themselves to be bigger than they are. And then there's the other irrational fear of weight gain. And there's body dysmorphia, which is when it's an actual disorder, and it's characterized by the obsessive idea that some aspect of one's own body part is profoundly flawed and therefore warrants certain behaviors. And then there's also the thin ideal internalization. That's when you buy into the hype that being thin will somehow make you happy, popular, or successful, when often the issue is within, in that regard. So that's what types of body images are, or the different types of body images. And like I said, I'm guilty of several of them. I've never thought that being thin would make me happy, popular, or successful, because for most of my life, I've actually been the proper weight or even thin. And it was only in the last decade or so that I really started to gain weight and had trouble losing it. So sometimes when I look in the mirror, I see that person, the pre-person, the person who was that size. But then when I look at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how I looked that evening or at that event. And it's sometimes hard to handle, and I must admit that it really brings me down sometimes when I look at pictures. But I know that from doing the show that I'm on a journey to improve my health, number one, first and foremost. And then people are, they always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So no matter what I look like, it doesn't change who I am, and it doesn't change how others are going to see me either. So, people either like me or they don't, frankly, and it has nothing to do with my size. Although there are people who discriminate against people who weigh more, for sure. So I remember at one of my jobs, someone, as I started gaining weight, said to me, that they would have invited me to do something that they invited others on our team to do, but they didn't think I could handle it because I was carrying extra weight. And I was like, "What?" And so, but then I let that go. I let it pass because I thought, well, I wouldn't have gone anyway because I don't really like the people. So it had nothing to, I wouldn't have gone anyway. But I I wondered, if I had been thinner, if I would have been invited then, and chances are not, because I think the feeling was mutual in terms of these people. So what can you do about body image issues? Well, first of all, I think people should stop looking at believing what they see on social media. People can, I just talked about, people can make themselves look better, and also achieve, like really unattainable, unrealistic in the way they look. So don't believe the hype of what you see on social media or even in media, because magazines, there's a thing called Photoshop, that you can make yourself look better or different. You can even Photoshop yourself into some, exotic places. So, of course, you could, change your whole body if you wanted to. In the times that I worked in network TV newsrooms, I met a lot of celebrities. And when you see them in person, and even friends I have who are newscasters, people always said, "Oh, you look different in person." Because the camera, again, there you can play tricks with cameras, right? So to see someone in person, like, the first thing, people normally tell the celebrities I met was like, "Wow, you're not as tall as I thought you were." Whereas when I was teaching at a local college, my students, if my students would come up to say something, like ask me a question, a private conversation, and they would be like, "I didn't know you were short." Because if you're sitting down in a classroom and your teacher, is at the front of the room standing up, people thought I was, my students thought I was larger than life. So they were always very surprised if they came up and stood right next to me and, towered over me. So, you can, the perception of people and the way they see you, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because again, people are peopling, right? They're going to think what they want about you. Tony and I, my husband and I, we often talk about how when we walk into a room, people immediately judge us. They don't know us. They don't know us. We haven't said a word, and they will immediately decide whether, that we're stuck up, or, oh, she thinks she's all that, or, or whatever. So if people can think that, and I haven't said a word, then I don't really care what they think when I walk into a room, and they might, I am overweight. I know that. That's the thing about being overweight. We don't need people to tell us. We know. We see ourselves every day. We don't need you to tell us. We know this. But don't assume that because we're overweight that we have the health issues that are, that typically go with it. I have great blood pressure. In fact, my blood pressure is extremely low. I was born with really low blood pressure. I have great blood pressure. I've never had a problem with, I'm trying to think of what it's called. I can't remember. So my numbers are usually fine. Cholesterol, that's it. I've never had a problem with cholesterol ever. And but I just have all the weight, and I carry it in my stomach. So I think my body image is like, oh my gosh, I look pregnant, and I've never been pregnant. So, like, oh my goodness, so I really try to work on the belly fat, because that is the worst place to carry your weight, because it brings up other issues. I see that Chris said something. Producer?
Yes, Jill, I was going to let you know. Chris said he's not overweight, he's under tall.
I like that.
And Nicole said hello to you when she came into the room. And we have Sonia. And you see, we have Chris. And we also have Stefan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate that. So thank you. And I appreciate the comments too. So anyway, the way to just try to think positive about yourself, because we all deserve respect, no matter how we look, right? And like I said, I know I'm overweight. I know that. You don't have to tell me, so you don't have to make it a problem, right? So, anyway, that's my thing. And also educate yourself and make other people, like, stop the negative talk too. That's what people do a lot of. And that just keeps you in that space. So be kind to yourself too. Okay? Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready for my second segment. And then Sonia, I see that you're on the stage, but I wanted to get to her in the third segment.
In the third segment?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be
if you could hang on with me, Sonia.
All right. Well, let's get to it. I got to set everything up here.
Oh, well, while you're setting everything up, I need to tell people what the stats were last week. So segment number 2 is when I weigh myself in front of you. And I also do measurements before I start. So last week, why am I hearing myself?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't be.
You need to mute, sweetheart. Okay. No, you haven't muted yourself.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Again. There's a technical problem because of the new app.
Do you want me to mute you?
I am mute. Yeah, mute me because it's not muting on my side.
Okay. Bear with us, everyone. We're live on Fireside. Oh, I can't mute you. Okay.
It's all right.
Well, the number to beat. Oh, you fixed it. The number to beat is.
Jill,
Okay. The producer has told me that we can't show me weighing myself, but I will tell you the results. And I'll be honest about it. So the number to beat in terms of weight is 150.1. I measured myself before the show, and I'm down a half inch in my hips. I'm down. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. Yes, it is right. I'm off. I'm down a half inch in my hips. I'm down 1 inch in my waist, and I'm down a quarter inch in my chest. And the number to beat is 150.1. So, can you play my music?
I can do it. I can do it if I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
Can you all say that?
148 something.
It's 148 even. Woohoo! So I am down, and the number to beat was 150.1. So I am down. Yay! Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
And Jill, in the meantime, Nicole Honeychild said the new app changed her name to Nicole.
Oh. Well, I knew
So
it was you. I knew it was you, though.
yeah, so and for some reason when I went to video to show your weight, it changed all of my settings.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it
Well,
wouldn't let me. I was already unmuted, but it wouldn't.
okay. Let's just keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving. Yay!
Segment number 3.
Segment number 3.
Okay, it's your turn to share.
Oh, man, your phone's really doing stuff. Okay, this is the segment where I asked you to speak. Sonia, you're on the stage. Thank you for waiting patiently. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for the invite there, Anthony.
Yes.
I just want to pop up and say hi. And of course, been kind of following you both too on your shows. And so a chance for me to get to know you a little. I didn't know about the wing, but certainly it's congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. And we support and love you too. So thank you. Thank you.
That's right. And Sonia, you have a new show that just started this morning, don't you?
Oh,
Yes.
do tell.
Yeah, it's kind of like a spin-off to the Empower and Magnetic. We have the series running, the Love series running, and of course, when Ruby and I, when Ruby brought the keys up to me, it's like, those are kind of like the journey that I went through. I'm like, and they have it already there. I'm like, yeah, coming out of a relationship and of course going through that process to get back to yourself again, right? And to love, right? And of course, now the new series is the Joyful Consultant, right? What happens when you have the love return to you, right? How do you do your life differently or more joyfully, right?
I
And
love
so-
it.
yeah, so it's kind of exciting, kind of adventure for me too, because I haven't done like I've been always in the team setting, just something that I need to venture out kind of on my own as well. I spread that wing, right? And so this is like a tester. I was like so nervous coming into it as well. So I'm like, okay, on camera and by myself, and of course we have a lot of guests coming up as well. That is so rewarding, and getting to know them in their professions, and of course spinning off. We're doing practical applications now to life, right? And my background is, of course, in finance, and so I was a planner and of course a strategist in many ways, right? And so looking at the developing and transitioning people like myself, corporate, into like self-employed, which is I thought the best thing ever. I mean,
I
it's
agree. I totally
I
agree.
I agree. I agree. Also, before we let you go, Sonia, what is the name of the book you are using along with your show?
It's called the 30 days, right? If you were to lose everything, and how
Ooh.
do you start back up within the 30 days? And so, of course, it gives you like maybe a 5-pager for each of the, people who have gone through it and come out of it, right? So it really is dependent on your personality and your background. And so how do we build you back up? Of course, learning from, the person that pretty much wrote the book and been in his programs, right? Russell Brunson, and understanding, not only the applications behind it. It's like now we're applying on the real life, and so people can, if you do the 30 days with us, then you'll get all the how the strategies on how we do it, and of course applying the new technology as well as with Fireside. We have the web 3 and the metaverse and everything else, the NFT. So we're going to be able to if continuing the next series will be more towards the NFT focus, but we have a lot of experts coming in that as well. So I'm just enjoying everything about that,
Well,
and
that's wonderful. That's
yeah,
fantastic. I'm so glad that you're doing that, and I'm sure it will benefit a lot of people. So, what time is your new show?
it's 5:30 PST, so Pacific time, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course whatever translations that might be across, that would mean like 8:30 in Eastern time,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where I start. I
On
start
Wednesdays?
every day for the
Oh,
next 30
oh
days.
wow.
So
Okay.
we pretty much map out what we need to do for the next 30 days. And then, we have the background support, which is like, the list and stuff like that, the checklist, and, helping you to understand what's involved in not only the research, but what the, because you're going to have to design something, your best salesperson, right? That's what I
Right.
call the strategy. So how do we go about doing that? And it's automated in such a way that your business, when you put that structure into place, whatever the business that you might be in, that will capture some of the people, of course, that will need your service, right? And
Excellent.
yeah.
Wonderful. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know Anthony has been participating in the morning. Thank you for your support there, Anthony. And for me, it was like, I need to get through the podcast, and of course the visual component, and also by myself. And it's my pleasure to, of course, to introduce you to all of these things. If you haven't been in in terms of self development kind of thing, and self in many ways transformation when you come out of it, right? Because if you do
Excellent.
anything like what you're doing, right, in terms of transformation, the body image and stuff like that, in terms of
Wonderful.
wholeness. Yeah, I mean, I'm also on Wisdom app, which is an audio type only, right? And
Mm-hmm.
which doing more of the holistic, which is more spiritual, right, approach to this application. So starting tomorrow, after the show, which is 6:30 a.m. Western time or Pacific, right? That whatever translated to your time will be in the Wisdom app, and of course I would provide the link if you do message me, whether it's Instagram or here, right? So thank you.
Excuse me, Sonia. We're getting tight on time, and we still
Yeah,
have
I know.
Nicole that wants
Sorry,
to speak.
I didn't mean to like take too much time. Okay,
So yeah, we only
thanks
have
for
a few
having
minutes
me.
left. All right, thanks for
Thank you,
coming up.
Sonia. I appreciate it. And Nicole, I see that you're on the stage.
Yeah. Hey, Jill. Hi, Anthony. How are you guys?
Hey, great, great.
Congratulations on that weight loss. I just had a couple of questions because us
Sure.
as women, we are so hard on ourselves when we think either we don't compare or can't compete, or we're scrolling through Instagram and realizing that we don't look like another person. So I suffered from a lot of weight issues, or not issues, but body image issues, And I just wanted to know. I have a couple questions. Why are you choosing to lose the weight? Is it for you personally, or is it
Absolutely. It's
for like
it's it
health?
it's it for both. It was purely me who wanted to, and I just realized I wasn't able to do things that I was able to do before. And so my health too. I have some conditions that the heavier I am, the worse that condition gets.
Mhm.
So yes, I made the decision to do that.
Okay, and then how are you doing it? Like, what are you doing to?
I'm actually in two different programs. One is through my insurance. It's a year-long program called Real Appeal, and every week they have an app, and every week you join with a so-called coach, kind of like one would do with Weight Watchers, except it's not in person and no one ever sees you. So you just hear the coach, and they always have these little videos where they tackle one component of healthy living, because they don't restrict you from anything in your diet. They just teach you about portion controls, and they teach you about mindful eating and things like that. And like I said, it's a year-long program, so they don't want it to be a diet. They want it to be a lifestyle change. So I'm learning that.
Mhm.
And then at the beginning of the year, I was able to join Dr. Ian Smith, who is a renowned expert for weight loss. He's written a lot of books, and he has a new book coming out in April or May. I think it's April, but he wants to show that his book works. So he's gathered a group of people, and we're going through the book,
Mhm.
and doing things that are in the book to prove that his plan works. And his book is called MetFlex Diet. So he teaches us how to boost our metabolism. So we've done things from most of it is intermittent fasting. Some
Mhm.
of it is keto, but his version of keto, like I've never seen keto like this
Mhm.
before. And it's really a 6-week program, but he's kind enough and generous enough with his time that he's letting our group continue long after the 6 weeks. So between those two programs, that's how I'm losing the weight. But I've never been hungry. In fact, I eat more than I ever did. It was really hard to do his plan in the beginning because I had to get in 3 meals and 2 snacks, which I was not doing before.
Mhm.
Um, but of course, it's clean eating too, mostly. Although tomorrow on the plan it has like chicken wings on there, so
Oh.
it's and I had pizza last week, so it's not like, again, I'm not restricting myself. I'm just learning how to um, have my body, I have a faster metabolism, and I exercise more. And just I'm very mindful of what I put into my body.
That's amazing, and you look fantastic. I
Thank
didn't.
you.
I did just meet you guys. Well, not meet, but saw you for the first time. What was it, last week or?
Last week.
Yeah. So, but but you are so beautiful, and the reason why I'm
Thank you.
asking is because it is we have so much to deal with as women, and I know men have a whole other situation to deal with,
Hmm.
but right now you're talking about this, and so I'm connecting with you as a woman. I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm not going to tell my age. It's a little bit past 13, but we're not gonna discuss it. But
Well, I'm 50. I don't mind telling my age. I'm 56.
okay, I'll be 52 in June,
Okay.
and the reason why I'm asking is because I, I've struggled with body image for so long, and I'm finally at the place where I want to be. But I literally adopted different like supplements, and I I get Reiki and acupuncture, massage, and it's almost like a soul healing. I have thyroid. I have hypothyroidism, and I can drink water, and I gain 100 pounds. So I had to check things that weren't normally checked. So, for example, like
Mm-hmm.
inflammation, you can't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Inflammation, my lymph system, it doesn't move as well as other people. So I've adopted like dry brushing and turmeric and ashwagandha. Have you ever tried those things?
Not the last one, but the other things for sure, because I do think that mind, body, and soul are all interconnected for sure.
Exactly. And I realized that I was getting stressed out. And when I was stressed out, your cortisol level increases, which will make you retain belly fat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I take
Yep.
turmeric pills and ashwagandha. I'll hit you offline with that, but it has
Thank
changed
you.
my entire life. You should look
Oh,
into
that's
it.
wonderful.
It's an herb. It's ashwagandha. It's an adaptogen
Okay.
from
Yeah, please send me
Randall.
the info. I would love to check that out.
Yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, so I just wanted to check with you on that. See what your routine was.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing what you've been going through as well. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. And Jill, we've had a couple of people come in the audience.
Okay.
Sublime X came
Hello.
in. I like that
Welcome.
image. Yes, that's very nice. And someone else was there, but I forgot who it was. They're gone.
Someone just came in. It's
Oh, there's Really Charlie. Yes,
Hey, Charlie.
Really Charlie is there.
Hey.
So thanks for coming.
Thanks, everybody. We've been talking about body image issues and how to deal with that, because it's real. The struggle is real. Like, I agree with what Nicole was saying. Yeah, we struggle with it, and it's not just a woman thing either. Men struggle with it too. So again, it's really hard. It's easier to say than to do, but we need to stop comparing ourselves to others. We are who we are individually, and the way people view you is not really going to change that much, no matter what size you are, because a lot of people make snap judgments about whether they like you or not. So sometimes the size doesn't matter. Sometimes it does, though. I'll get into that in a different show.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm already over, but let's do segment 4.
But Chris is there. He's on the stage. Did you want to handle that first?
Oh, yes. Hi, Chris. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't want to hold you up. I want to get to segment 4 too. I just want to thank you for your transparency, and thank you for loaning your husband to the world too. And congratulations on this week's report. That was fantastic. What's that bring to total now to date so far?
Well, when I started in November, when I started the Real Appeal program, the program I was telling Nicole about, I was 165. But when I started the show, I was 160.6. Today I'm at 148.
Fantastic.
So since November, I'm at 148.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
The other day I went into the gym where I swim at the local college. And I went into the weight room and asked them if they had a scale I could use. And he said, "Yeah, there's one over there." I said, "What does it go up to?" And he said, "I think it goes up to 250." I said, "Well, I need one for each leg." Anyway, you're an encouragement to all of us, and keep up the good work. And I'm going to go back to enjoying my Trader Joe's peanut butter and mustard sandwich. Thank you.
Peanut butter and mustard.
Oh yeah, try it.
Hey, Chris, that sounds nasty. Sorry.
Well, thank you, Chris. All right. So, haven't missed anybody else, sweetheart?
No, we're
Everybody's
good.
good?
We're
Okay.
good. We're ready to start segment
4.
4.
Yes.
Okay, it's your turn to share.
That's not segment 4.
You are correct. I'm seeing sideways.
I can do it. I can do it if I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
All right, segment 4 is when I tell you about my goal for the week. So last week, my goal was to get up earlier, and I'm happy to report that except for today, I got up earlier, and not only did I get up earlier, I worked out. So I did achieve that goal, and then some. My week for now is to do something nice for myself. Because sometimes we just don't put ourselves on our happy list, our happy to-do list. So this week, I'm just going to do something nice for myself. That's my goal. I don't know what yet, but maybe shopping, something. I don't know. Anyway, that's my goal. All right, well, let's wrap this baby up. Okay, so you've been listening to Wait With Me. I'm your host, Jill Cox Cordova. The music you're listening to now, and also that we began the show with, is called Suns Out International, and it's by G'day Production. The music that you heard during the segments is called Real Cool Sunglasses, and is by That Core Beat. I want to thank my producer, my husband, my love, Tony. Thank you for everything. And I want to thank you, my audience. Every week I say that you all are my accountability partners, because since I know I'm going to talk to you all and weigh myself in front of you, it really holds me accountable. So thank you. Thank you for being accountability partners, and know that I'm here for you as well if you need it. In an hour, Tony and I are together with I'm Right, I'm Right, and we're talking about following your inner voice. And then next week on this show, I'm going to talk about eat healthy, not less, because that's what I'm doing. I'm eating healthy, but I'm eating more. Anyway, so until next week, on this show, or in an hour if you come to that show. And right now, Stefan has been doing his show, and I think he's doing something about Black History Month, because today is February 1st, the beginning of Black History Month. So go join him too. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.